Hello, student. So let's gonna review the phase 2 of your project. So what do you have to do in phase 2? In phase 2, you will have to read the file using the while loop, the same thing that we did in our labs. Create objects, right? Use the setter to set the data with the data that we are extracting from the file, and then add the object to the list. You will have to do that process for faculty, student, schedule, course roster, department, and major. Okay? So now, what do you have to do? Let me show you here. You have to create the class model. You already did that in phase 1. Okay. Now, in phase 2, you will have to create the same thing that we did in the lab. Remember the method, okay, the method to read the data, right, from the file, correct? And this process is going to be called something that helps us to store the data in lists, right? Okay, so you will have to do that for course roster, for department, faculty, major, schedule, student. Okay, so you will have to create a method store student information, store faculty information, store major information, something like that. And you will have to create a method that is going to print the data that you are storing in the ArrayList. So how can we are gonna organize your code? Okay, you see there are many things to do. First thing, you're gonna create a class called data reader. Okay, please everyone follow the same name, so when I grade your project it's gonna be really easy, okay, to assign the proper points. So what we are gonna have in data reader? In data reader, you're gonna have the method that allow you to run the while loop, create the object, add the object to the list. So in the data reader, you're gonna have many process, right, that help you to read the data for the course roster, department, faculty, major, schedule, and student. Okay, so this is the purpose for data reader. So let me show you just an example. We're gonna code in some minute, but let me show you. So you're gonna have in the data reader the method store faculty. For example, store faculty is gonna receive an array list of faculty, right? And also is gonna receive the name of the file. Huh? And then what happened? You're gonna be able to do the while loop, the same thing that we did before, but with two parameters. You're gonna pass here the name of the file. So see that it's the same recipe that we are following, right? So it's finally here. You create a file using what? The name of the file that you are receiving here, right? Correct? You can use this one as well, but just to follow our coding standard and create the scanner, the same thing. Okay, so you will have to do that for store faculty, store for roster, store department, store major, store schedule, store student. So all the store are going to be here inside the class data reader. Okay, so inside the class data reader, you are going to create a lot of stored whatever methods that are going to receive an array list and a string for the file name. Okay, so this is data reader. Okay, now what else do you need to design? You need to design another class that is going to be called data util. Okay, data util. And what do you have to code in data util? You will have to code, for example, a method that helps you to print the core roster list, to print the department, to print major, to print schedule. Okay? For example, you're going to have a method print core roster. It is going to receive an array of core roster. And with this information, we're going to be able to print all the objects. We're going to code in some minutes. I'm going to just give you the idea how we're going to organize the code. In dbutil, you're going to have everything that you need to process your application. Okay, so you're going to create a student and you need to create randomly the ID for the student. You will have to create a method here in the data util, a method to generate the student ID, and then you can code everything here in the data util, all the process there. So then the main project. In the main project, okay, you are gonna code what? Let me show you. Let me run. I'm gonna run the main project. See that the menu that you will have to show in phase 3, but in phase 3 have to work. But what do you have to do in phase 2? Is create the menu, but before that you display the menu, you will have to print the student information, the everything, student, faculty, all the list here. See that? Yeah, faculty. Or roster. What else? Yep. We're displaying all the information. This is faculty, student. See? Okay, the main project have to display all the data that you have in your array list after running the while loop. Okay, all the data. Okay, and the menu that we need to code for your project. So this is phase 2. This is the main project class. Okay, so let's gonna start coding, but this is the explanation of the design. Okay, how many classes we're gonna use? Remember, we're gonna use the data reader, we're gonna use the data util, and we're gonna have the main project. Okay, so from here, we're gonna call everything that we code in the dbutil and in the the data reader. Okay, so I hope this explanation helped you to understand what we're gonna do. Next video, I'm gonna explain you how to work with the inside the database reader, dbutil, and the main project. I'm gonna provide you one example. Maybe I'm gonna pick one class and do everything for this class. And you will have to do the same thing, but with the rest of the classes. Okay, so I hope this video helped you to clarify phase 2.